My dad destroyed my clothes for wearing a skirt my mom sent, then my brothers accused me of sleeping with my best friend just for borrowing his shirt. I never thought I'd end up writing something like this, but here we are. I'm a 16-year-old girl, and the main people involved in this are my dad, he's 59, my twin brother, also 16, and my two older brothers, who are 22-year-old twins, by the way. Living with two sets of twins in one house can be a bit of a nightmare sometimes, and honestly, I get why my dad seems stressed all the time. My mom isn't really around much. She works abroad and only visits occasionally, sometimes once a year, other times once a month. But ever since I turned 14, I've barely seen her. Every now and then, she sends us packages, little things for me and my brothers, but that's about it. Now, the dynamic with my brothers is complicated, to say the least. I'm the only girl in a house full of guys, so naturally, I've always felt kind of disconnected from them. Out of all of them, I get along best with Andrew, not his real name, one of the older twins, mostly because we're both into Greek mythology and that kind of stuff. But the real issue right now isn't with Andrew, it's with my twin brother and my dad. Lately, the weather here has been all over the place. One day it's freezing, the next day it's blazing hot. So when I woke up this morning, it was unbelievably hot outside. I had plans to check out one of those flea market style shops that sells random stuff because I wanted to look for some plushies from a show I love. I threw on a t-shirt, some sneakers, and decided to wear a skirt so I could feel more comfortable in the heat. The skirt was pretty short, maybe 4 fingers above my knees, but I didn't think anything of it. Well, apparently my dad did. As soon as he saw me, he told me the skirt was inappropriate and that I needed to change right away. Just to be clear, he already knew I had plans to go out. I asked him what the big deal was, especially since the skirt was something my mom had actually sent me from the country she's working in. He didn't give me a real answer, just told me that I could either put on pants or I wouldn't be allowed to leave the house. Before I could even process what was happening, my twin brother walked in and joined the conversation. I guess my dad had already filled him in or was hoping he'd back him up. And of course, being the idiot he is, my brother looked me up and down and said, "You look like a SL*T in that skirt." That comment lit a fire in me. I completely lost it. Out of pure rage, I pulled off one of my sneakers and smacked him with it. But instead of calming things down, it only got worse. My dad didn't defend me. In fact, he agreed with my brother. He actually said, "If your brother thinks that way, imagine what everyone else will think." Then, to make it even more humiliating, he called my two older brothers and asked for their opinion, and of course, they sided with him too. At that point, I just shut down. I locked myself in my room. I sat there staring at the skirt for hours, trying to see what was supposedly so wrong with it. I couldn't see anything inappropriate about it. Eventually, I gave up on going out. That whole thing happened about 2 weeks ago. Since then, I've barely spoken a word to any of them unless it's absolutely necessary. Today, my mom texted me asking why I've been giving my dad and brothers the silent treatment. Apparently, my dad told her he feels bad about it. I didn't text back because, honestly, I don't even know where to begin. I talked to some of my friends about what happened to guys and girls, and most of them agreed that my dad went way too far, especially by not stepping in when my brother insulted me. But 2 of them said I overreacted, and that I should have taken my brother's words as advice instead of getting so upset. So, a couple of days after the last update, I got a message from my older brother Andy, the 22-year-old. He asked if we could talk. I won't lie, I got a little nervous. I told him I'd be more comfortable if we talked over the phone instead of meeting in person, and he agreed. Following someone's advice online, I recorded the call just in case anything went south, and I also had my best friend's sister nearby for emotional support. At first, the conversation was light. He asked if I'd been eating okay, how I was sleeping, typical small talk. But eventually, we got to the actual reason for the call. That's when he apologized. He admitted he'd acted like a jerk and said he should have chosen his words more carefully. I asked him straight up why he said what he did, why he used those words. At first, he gave me the same excuse Dad did, that he only said it to try and convince me to change my outfit. But I told him that wasn't good enough. I needed something real, something honest that actually made sense. He let out a sigh and said, "You wouldn't understand." That annoyed me, so I pushed him to tell me exactly what it was I supposedly wouldn't understand. But he refused to explain. I asked him if Mom had said anything to him. He said yeah, she scolded him and our brothers for the way they treated me, and that we'd all talk more about it when she came back. He also asked when I was planning to come home. I told him I'd be staying at my best friend's place until Mom returned. That's when the conversation turned into an argument. He said I was being ridiculous for hiding out at someone's house over a simple comment, and that it was childish and cowardly to run away like that. I told him it wasn't just a comment. I reminded him that Dad ripped up my clothes while I was crying and begging him to stop, and none of them, Andy included, said or did a damn thing. They just stood there, pretending it wasn't happening, until Mom had to step in from miles away. As soon as I mentioned Mom, he got defensive and said I shouldn't drag her into this. According to him, she already had enough stress from work and didn't need to hear my tantrums. I told him this wasn't a tantrum. They had ganged up on me, called me names, insulted my outfit, and then let Dad destroy my things. I asked him if he even stopped for a second to think about how all of that might affect me. He went silent. Then, before I could say more, he ended the call with a warning to not do anything stupid and hung up. Yeah, I cried. Maybe it's pathetic, but I couldn't help it. I wish I could say his words didn't get to me, that I didn't care, but I do. That's my brother. It still hurts. Later that evening, before dinner, Andy's twin Ija called me. I almost didn't pick up because of the earlier argument, but I figured I should hear him out. He didn't waste time with small talk. He just came right out and said that I'd gotten him, my brothers, and our dad into huge trouble by crying to Mom and running off to hide at my friend's house. I asked him what exactly he expected me to do. None of them gave me a single explanation for what happened. Not one of them stepped in to help me when Dad was ripping my clothes apart while I begged him to stop. I told him I didn't run away into anyone's arms and I sure as hell didn't cry to Mom. All I did was tell her the truth and stay somewhere safe. He groaned, literally groaned, and warned me again not to do anything stupid. Before I could even ask what he meant by that, he hung up. Later, I figured my twin brother, Toby, would probably reach out too. And he did, just not with a call. He sent a single text, "I hope you're happy now." I stared at that message for what felt like forever. I didn't even know how to respond. I just felt blank. That night was rough. I tried calling Mom, but she couldn't talk. She left me a message saying, "I'm almost done with the case. Just give me 3 more days and I'll be there. I love you." Now, let's fast forward to Saturday, the day of the incident at McDonald's. It started on Friday. My best friend and I went out for a walk, planning to grab a bite with his sister and his younger cousin. His sister is 19, and his cousin is this sweet, quiet little 10-year-old girl I adore. It was about 3 in the afternoon, and we were all still hungry after lunch. So his mom and the cousin's mom said it was okay for us to go grab something to eat. We went to McDonald's, sat down, and I was the one who got up to order for everyone. While I was waiting in line, just going about my business, I saw my 2 older brothers walk into the restaurant. My heart stopped. I turned to look at the counter, silently begging the line to move slower so they wouldn't spot me. But of course, they did. The first thing out of their mouths was basically yelling at me, demanding to know what I was doing there alone. I told them I wasn't alone, that I was with my friend's family. I even tried to act like I didn't know them so maybe they'd go away, but it didn't work. Then Andy pointed at my shirt and asked whose it was. I told him it belonged to my friend. For some reason, that made them furious. Elijah told me they had warned me not to do anything stupid, and now they were going to take me home. When he reached out to grab me, I stepped aside and asked him what exactly he meant by stupid. I'm going to be honest, what he said next made me feel so sick, I nearly bolted out of there. He told me that wearing my friend's shirt meant I had slept with him. Yes, you read that right. That's what he actually said. I asked him why he'd say something so disgusting. He replied that when a girl wears a guy's shirt, it means he's marked his territory. I was absolutely floored. I told him he was being gross and creepy, that the only reason I had my friend's shirt on was because most of my clothes were still being washed. I explained that both my friend and I were minors and that the idea of them jumping to that conclusion was sickening. But instead of backing off, they doubled down. They accused me of lying and said if I told the truth, they wouldn't tell Dad. I yelled back that I wasn't going to confess to something that never happened. Elijah called me stubborn and spoiled, and then he hit me with the worst line of the day. He said he didn't understand why I was so offended by being called a SL*T if I was acting like one. That's when I realized what they meant by running into someone's lap. I felt absolutely disgusted, nauseous, even. And hurt. Deep down, I started to wonder if this is really how my own brothers see me. Before I could respond, a sudden shout broke through the noise. My friend's little cousin started screaming. She was yelling that these 2 bad men, meaning my brothers, were shouting mean things at me. The outburst drew attention. 2 moms came over, and then my best friend and his sister showed up too. Everything after that felt like a blur. I was told my brothers were asked to leave the restaurant. They still tried to drag me with them, but my friend and his sister physically blocked them. We ended up grabbing our food to go, and my friend called his mom to come pick us up. I don't even know when I started crying, but apparently I was. The little cousin noticed and offered me one of her fries to cheer me up. Turns out, she and my friend's sister had been checking out the Happy Meal toys and came over to tell me what she wanted. That's when she saw my brothers yelling at me. Later, my friend asked me what happened, and I told both him and his mom everything. Unsurprisingly, his mom was furious. After dinner, I messaged my mom and told her everything too. Her response was short but comforting, "Just a few more days, honey. I'll be there right away." I don't know if it was everything that happened at McDonald's or all the bottled up frustration from the past couple of weeks, but that night I snapped. That night, I ended up sending my mom a voice message. I told her that I didn't need her in a few days, I needed her now. I said I didn't understand what the hell was going on anymore. It felt like nobody, neither her, my dad, nor especially my brothers, was telling me the truth. I told her how my brothers had said awful things to me, how my dad had suddenly become someone I didn't even recognize, and all she kept saying was we'd talk once she got back. I reminded her I was her daughter. That I admired everything she did for her career and the sacrifices she made for her friend. But right now? I just needed my mom. I ended the message by saying that even when she did come back, I wanted to stay at my friend's house. Because after everything that happened, and especially after how she was acting, I didn't feel safe with anyone. Not with her. Not with Dad. Definitely not with my brothers. I cried that entire night, quietly. Part of it was from pure anger at the situation, but a big part was guilt. I know my mom works like crazy every day to give us a good life and make sure we never go without. And yet I yelled at her. I snapped. And I felt terrible about that. I'm sorry this update's so long, and I wish I had something more hopeful to share. But honestly, I don't. Everything around me still feels upside down. From what I've heard, my brothers have been telling people that they saw me wearing my best friend's shirt, and apparently in their twisted logic, that means he marked me. Whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. My dad hasn't said anything, and mom didn't reply to the voice message either. Right now, I feel more stable, thanks mostly to my friend's mom. She's let me help with her pottery and embroidery projects, and she even gave me some old paper doll sets so I can design clothes to keep myself distracted. I can't even explain how grateful I am to her and her family. They've shown me more kindness in a few weeks than I've felt at home in months. Also, quick side note, if anyone has gift ideas for a 10-year-old girl, I'd love suggestions. My friend's little cousin has a birthday coming up in 2 months, and I really want to get her something special for how sweet she's been to me. Anyway, that's it for now. Good morning, good evening, or whatever time it is where you are. I'll post again if anything major happens. Update 3. So, this might be the last update. Hopefully. First off, thank you to everyone who commented and especially for all the thoughtful gift ideas for the little cousin. You've all helped me more than you know. Now let me try to sum up what's happened. My mom didn't come back like she said she would. But we did talk. And in that conversation, she finally opened up about some things that explained, well, a lot. She admitted that part of the reason she's been gone so much is because she needed space. When I asked her what that even meant, she told me something I wasn't expecting at all. Apparently, when she was pregnant with my twin brother, they were only expecting one baby. During the first ultrasound, I didn't show up clearly, her words, not mine. It wasn't until the second scan that they realized I was there too. So, surprise, I was the unexpected twin. She said neither she nor dad were ready for a girl. And when I was born, she felt overwhelmed. She thought having a daughter meant she'd have to be more present, to stay home more and guide me. But dad told her not to worry, that he would be the one to understand me and take care of things. Looking back, I guess she took that promise literally. I asked why she was just now telling me all this, and she said it was because of the woman she lives with. Remember how I mentioned that one of her roommates is divorced? Well, apparently she overheard the voice message I sent my mom. And after hearing it, she sat my mom down and told her the hard truth, that if she didn't step up and do something now, she was going to lose me. Just like that woman had lost her own kids. That hit my mom. She apologized, said she was sorry for choosing herself over me all these years. She truly believed I was safe and happy at home, but after everything that's happened, she realized she was wrong. We talked mostly about what I wanted. She asked if I was sure I wanted to stay at my friend's place. I told her yes. She respected that, and then called my friend's mom directly. They talked and came to an agreement, I'd officially be staying with them. Then there was the call with my dad and brothers, mom was on that too. Honestly, I wasn't expecting much. I'd already made peace with the idea that I'd probably never get a real explanation. And I was right. The whole conversation was mostly just mom scolding my brothers and telling them I'd be living with my friend now. My dad tried to push back, but mom shut that down real fast. So now it's official, I live with my friend, his sister, and their mom. The house rules are fair, and I feel safe here. My friend and I call each other neighbors even though we live under the same roof. We've started having Sunday movie nights. I picked a My Hero Academia movie, and next week we're watching E.T. As for clothes, mom sends me money. I'm going shopping next week with my friend's sister. She saw what I usually wore when we went out together, so she's helping me rebuild my wardrobe. I also had one last face-to-face with my dad on the front porch, with my friend's mom nearby. He apologized again. Said he was sorry for letting me down and for not protecting me. He cried too. I know some people might think I'm being too soft, but I let him hug me goodbye. It hurt, but I accepted it. He said he wants to find a way to earn my trust back, that he doesn't want to lose me for good. As for my brothers, Andy is the only one who actually said sorry. My twin, Toby, just sent me a photo of my bedroom with a message saying, "It'll be the same when you come back." Now I'm here, in my new room, surrounded by the paper dolls I've dressed up myself. I still talk to my mom regularly, we have a calling schedule. My dad checks in on weekends through text. That was part of the deal between my parents. Any money I need for food, hygiene stuff, or medicine goes directly to my friend's mom. She's in charge of my care now. That's where things stand. I don't know what the future holds, but for the first time in a while, I feel like I can breathe again. Thank you, seriously. To all of you who read, commented, supported me, thank you. If anything major happens, I'll come back with another update. But for now, I think this chapter is over. Sending a big hug to everyone. Take care and goodbye.